Solving equations combining like terms. Equations can have many terms with an unknown within the same equation. To solve the equation, combine the unknown terms until one unknown term is left. Then proceed to find the value of the unknown. Rule: if multiple unknowns exist, combine the unknowns first. Example: the truck made 2 trips on Monday and 3 trips on Tuesday from Springfield to Ridge City. In addition to this, the truck traveled 17 miles going to other places in the city. The total miles on the truck for the 2 days was 567. How far was one trip from Springfield to Ridge City? In this particular problem, we're going to solve an equation. 2 trips plus 3 trips plus 17 miles equal to 567 miles. 2t plus 3t plus 17 is equal to 567. In this particular problem, we have 2 unknowns. T represent the trips. 2t plus 3t must be combined. 2t plus 3t is equal to 5t. 5t plus 17 is equal to 567. In this particular equation, we must subtract 17 from both sides of the equation. Wherever you do to one side of an equation, you must do to the other side also, because the equation must always be balanced. Subtract 17 from both sides. We'll get the resulting equation. 5t is equal to 7 from 7 is 0. 1 from 6 is 5. Bring down the 5. 550. Divide both sides of the equation by 5. We get the resultant answer. T is equal to 110. Let's check this equation to make sure that the answer is correct. In order to check an equation, you always go back to the original equation. 2t plus 3t plus 17 is equal to 567. 2t plus 3t plus 17 is equal to 567. T is equal to 110. 2 times 110 plus 3 times 110 plus 17 is equal to 567. 2 times 110 is equal to 220 plus 3 times 110 is equal to 330 plus 17 is equal to 567. 220 plus 330 is equal to 550 plus 17 is equal to 567. 550 plus 17 is equal to 567, which is also equal to 567. Therefore, when you get the final answer, which is equal to the other side, then the equation checks out, which means that the solution is correct. Example 2. 5p minus p is equal to 30 minus 6. In this particular problem, you would notice that there's no number currently by the p. It is understood that a negative p is the same as a negative 1p. Therefore, this problem can be written as 5p minus 1p is equal to 30 minus 6. 5p minus 1p is equal to 4p. 30 minus 6 is equal to 24. Next, we have to find what p is equal to. Therefore, we divide both sides by 4. Wherever you do to one side of the equation, you must also do it to the other side. 4p divided by 4. 4's cancel out, leaving p is equal to 24 divided by 4 is equal to 6. Now, let's check our solution to make sure we have the correct answer. 5p minus p is equal to 30 minus 6. In order to check, we must go back to the original equation. P is equal to 6. 5 times 6, because 5p means 5 times the number. 5 times 6 minus 6 is equal to 30 minus 6. 5 times 6 is equal to 30 minus 6 is equal to 30 minus 6. 30 minus 6 is equal to 24. Is equal to 30 minus 6, which is 24. Therefore, as you can plainly see, we got 24 on both sides. That means that P is the correct solution to the equation 5P minus P is equal to 30 minus 6.
You were told it would cost $13,365 for you to send your 3 children to attend this private school for 1 year. For one child, you pay full tuition. For the second child, you pay 90% of the tuition. And for the third child, you pay 80% tuition. How much is the full tuition for each child? Let's do the math. The private school for 3 children costs $13,365. For the first child, you pay full tuition. For the second child, you pay 90% of the full tuition. And for the third child, you pay 80% of the tuition. Now, what we want to do, first of all, is convert this 90% and the 80% into decimals. So 90%, remember, all we have to do is move the decimal place 2 places, and that equals 0.9. So we can use the calculator. So this will equal 0.9, and we do the same thing for 80% equals 0.8. Now we'll make an algebraic formula out of this problem. X is the full tuition plus 90% tuition is 0.9x plus the third child, which is 80% of the full tuition, so that would be plus 0.8x, and adding these all together will equal the full amount for the 3 children, which is $13,365. So now just look at this. Just try to think. Remember, algebra, you must use logic. And the x here stands for, if we put it over here, this is x, full tuition. X plus 0.9 of that x plus 0.8 of that x will equal the total amount. So all we have to do now is combine them together and then isolate the x. So 1x, remember, there's a 1 really here, it's an imaginary 1. 1x plus 0.9x plus 0.8x equals $13,365. So it's 1 plus 0.9 plus 0.8 equals, and that's, carry, that's 17, and that's 2, so it's 2.7. So it's 2.7x equals the $13,365. And so when you add these all together, that is equivalent to 2.7x. Now all we have to do then is divide each side by 2.7. 2.7, this cancels out. Now we have isolated the x, and all we have to do now is go to the calculator. $13,365 divided by 2.7 equals $4,950. By making an equation out of this problem and then combining the like terms, we were able to solve this problem. And again, I want to stress, use logic. It ought to make sense to you. X plus 0.9x, or 90% of that full tuition, plus 0.8x, or 80% of the full tuition, equals this amount. And all we had to do then is combine these like terms together, then isolate the x, and we found the answer. X equals $4,950.
Please pause the video now and complete the problems in your workbook. When finished, press play, and we'll continue with the next lesson.